Hi, friends.
Good
Welcome.
afternoon. Good afternoon.
Oh my goodness, we're so excited to be here on this Thursday. It's the last day this week for Three Things at 3.
We get a long weekend, right?
Yes, we do.
Okay,
and
cool,
we're so
cool.
happy to have all of you here joining us. So welcome to Three Things at 3, where theme number 1 is something to smile about, theme number 2 is something to learn, and theme number 3 is something to discover. Let's go. Hi friends, welcome, and it's great to be here with you. And whoo, it is a heat wave outside, isn't it?
At like 11 o'clock this morning, it was 80 degrees already.
Yeah, crazy.
So crazy.
It is
this
really
heat
hot.
is just going crazy.
Yeah. And the good news is for everyone here in the studio is that the air conditioning is going to be fixed. So they were working on it today. For those of you who might have wondered why you've seen the sweat just dripping from our faces, that would be why. It's you know, of all
warm.
things, the air conditioning went burp, burp, like, nope, no longer having it, right? But today, our heroes were in the studio fixing it. So,
nice.
in fact, having to get
better.
a brand new one.
Oh,
Yeah, that's never fun.
no.
But you know what? We're grateful.
Yes.
Just full of gratitude that we
Yes.
can get a new air conditioning system.
Just drink lots of water and just stay inside when it's hot. Hey, that gives us the reason just to stay at home and sew, exactly.
Yeah.
That way we can just spend all that time sewing in it with our machines. You
Right.
know?
I mean, a lot
When
of people
it's
go,
cooler.
you know, when it's cooler or colder outside, they want to be inside sewing. But I'm kind of under the thought process of, you know what, I'm ready for to be in an air-conditioned place sewing,
Yes.
right?
Yes, I agree. I totally agree.
Oh my goodness. Well,
Yeah.
Sandra, we are really in the thick of summer. That's what we've been talking
We
about
are.
all this week, right?
Right in the middle of it.
Yes.
I mean, it is 7-Eleven today. You know that, right?
Where did my Slurpee go?
Exactly.
Oh my goodness, we should have had Slurpees for everyone
It's
here.
really fun because it's my grandson's birthday is on today also.
So
and
it's
we
an
always
easy one
give
to
him a
remember.
hard time about 7-Eleven. Oh, we're going to go get you free Slurpees, Liam.
Well,
yes.
how fun for him.
Yeah, he gets a free
You
Slurpee
tell
on his
Liam
birthday.
that we're all celebrating Liam's birthday
Exactly.
today. It's not about 7-Eleven, it's
No.
about his birthday,
It's about
right?
his birthday. That's exactly right.
Oh, that's great. You know, I haven't had a Slurpee in, I don't know how long. What about all of you?
yeah.
Have you had a Slurpee lately?
I haven't had one yet today.
But you're going to go
I'm going
get
to
one
go get
afterwards.
one. I
Okay,
am. We're
all
going
right.
to get Slurpees afterwards. So that's what's important right now.
Oh my goodness, Dolores. She says that southeastern Texas has had no electricity since
gosh.
Monday, and they are hot. I bet they are. You know,
wow.
so there's, like I said, there's a lot to be grateful for. In fact, my brother he lives just outside of Houston, Texas, and he's been sending me pictures of what they've been going through. Huge, ginormous tree that just fell right down
they've been
into his yard.
Yeah,
with the hurricane and everything.
The hurricane
So,
that was down there. Yeah.
shout out to, you know, our
kidding.
friends who are down there in Texas who are suffering much, much more than we are here.
We can
for
handle
sure.
the heat for a day or two.
Absolutely. But to not
only
have
for a day or
electricity, to not have electricity, that is not a good
That's
thing,
not good.
right?
No.
So our thoughts and prayers are with all of you
Yes.
who are being affected by those hurricanes. So let's see what else is going on in the big wide world of quilters out there. Let's see.
Well, I will say I'm going to cool off a little bit this weekend. I'm going up to the lake. I'm going up to Bear Lake, which is north of here.
It's
just
one
up
of my
on the
favorite
hill,
places.
up above the canyon.
Yep.
And it's a lot cooler up there. So we are going to spend the weekend up to Bear Lake.
Good for you. Are you going camping?
We're taking our trailer. We have a trailer, and so we're taking that up there and parking it. And I thought, you know what? I'm just going to relax for the weekend.
Good for you. Are you taking your sewing machine as well?
Yeah.
Of course you are.
It stays in the it does. It's in the trailer.
You have a smaller one, I would assume.
I do. I have a small one that is portable enough.
Oh,
it's not my embroidery machine. That'll stay home. But I'm going to get some quilt tops done.
Good for you.
So, yeah.
Oh my goodness. Okay, that sounds glorious, actually.
It will be fun. I'm looking for just a little bit of calmness right now.
Good for you. Well, I can't take my sewing machine where I'm going this weekend. But I can bring my cross stitch. You better believe I'm bringing my cross stitch with my lights. Yeah, I've got 14 hours ahead of me on a flight.
14 hours. That means you're going a long ways away.
Heading to Italy.
Oh my gosh,
Can you believe that?
That is my ultimate bucket list.
Woo! I'm so excited.
I want to go to Italy.
Nervous
I want
and
to go
excited.
to Rome.
That's where we're going.
That's exactly where I want to go.
Oh my goodness.
I'm going to pick your brain when you get back.
Okay, and I'll take lots of pictures and I'll look at all the textile shops. You know I'm going to do that for sure. So anyway, we're excited. But everyone around here is a little nervous because when Kris has 14 hours to herself of uninterrupted time, you never know what plans I'm going to have when I come back.
So everybody have your pencils sharpened and be ready to take notes for when Kris comes back that this is what we're going to have. This is what we're going to
do. Yeah, that's how Tug got started, was Kris and alone in her thoughts.
Oh, how fun.
So anyway, all good things, right? All right. Well, we hope you are having a wonderful summer as well. We really are in the thick of it, as we mentioned. And all this week, we've been talking about fun, different summer projects. So we've talked about the picnic blanket and the hooded towels. And yesterday they did an adorable butterfly pouch. Well, today I know a lot of you are going to be excited because we have a new banner of the month, and it's for the month of August, and we have it available to you today. So with that, before we get started over at set number 2, I want to do a shout out to some of you out there who've been sharing some of your previous banners, because as you know, here at Girlfriends, we've had an exclusive banner of the month happening every single month this year. And so some of you have been sharing your pictures, and we wanted to give a shout out to you. So let's look at the first one. This is Diane Morse, and she did this adorable one for Father's Day. And let's see, Judy McIntyre's next. And I think this one was my favorite. Do you have a favorite?
That is really cute.
This is the hip hop.
That is way cute.
That we did for Easter time.
Yes.
And let's see, we've got Melanie Derland. Hello, Melanie. Look how cute that one is.
I'm kind of a snowman person. Yeah. I like snowman.
So are you leaning towards this one a little bit more?
This one, yeah.
Yeah.
That one's cute, Melanie. Good job.
I like that one a lot. So that says Burr. That was our January one. Patty Lake. Hello, Miss Patty. She did the Valentine one. That is, of course, says love, right?
Yes.
And then it looks so cute with her table runner there. And then Shelby Hersack, she did Bloom, and that was our May one. And then Tammy Taylor, do you recognize those cute little twinsies?
Oh my gosh.
That's Tammy and Todd's nieces, who happened to be on Swig Night the other night. They also did Bloom, and they were just as proud as can be. That definitely makes me smile, for sure.
They should be, yeah.
Absolutely. So very cute, very fun. And you know what Tammy said about those two? They were able to pick it up right away on the embroidery machine.
Oh,
they had no qualms whatsoever. And then we've got this one from Terry Grove. That was also the hip hop banner from Easter. So very, very fun. And the really cool thing about these banners, for those of you who may or may not know, is that when you download those files, they're available for both sewing and machine embroidery. We've included both in the same file. So Bridget, when you're asking how do you get the banner embroidery designs, they are included on the download, and you can find them on our website at mygirlfriendsquiltshop.com. Type in banner and you should be able to. Shelby, can I go ahead and answer? No? Okay, looks like we're back. All right, Shelby asked, we need a patriotic one. Was there one for July that she missed? No, we did have one. Just somebody hasn't posted a picture yet.
Oh, okay.
So there is a July banner. Somebody post a picture so we can see, but the July one is there as well. That one was little flags. So I think we're good there. All right, looks like we're back in business. All right, Shelby says she still has her springtime one up, needs to change it. Yeah,
well,
we totally
guess
understand
what, Shelby?
that as well.
This one here, you can change it. This will be a fun one for you to do that you can change it to. So
exactly,
it'll be a good one to
thanks,
put up.
Elisa. She made put in the link for the flag banners.
Oh, good.
So good deal.
She's on it.
Yeah, she is. All right, friends. Well, let's go ahead, and Sandra and I are going to head over to the machine. We are going to be working on the Baby Lock Altair today. We're going to do a little tutorial for you, both on the sewing part of it as well as the machine embroidery part of it. So we're going to be able to reach everyone who wants to make these fun banners and maybe learn something along the way as well. And yes, Carol, the banner is found free in the club. Yes, they are. So, yep, all of the banners are still available. So we're going to head over there to theme number 2. And while we do so, go ahead and check out this quick little video that talks about the Never Miss Needle Threader on the Baby Lock Altair. Having trouble threading your needle? Let's talk about the Never Miss Needle Threader from Baby Lock. Pull my thread over here to the left, up and around and down, just following this thread path. It's even numbered for me. Up and back down. Pull the thread back behind the needle bar and over to 7 and cut. Ready to see the magic happen? Push this button. You can find this feature on most of their top-of-the-line machines. Find your Baby Lock machine at My Girlfriend's Quilt Shop and mygirlfriendsquiltshop.com. Okay, here we go. All right, so we are talking fun in the sun, and we haven't even shown you it yet, have we? Are you ready? Okay, I'm so excited. It's so big that we had to actually divide it in half. So
it is.
All right.
There's like 9 of them.
All right, here we go.
Okay.
Here is fun in the.
Okay.
So there we go. I'm going to go ahead and point this towards Ben. There we are. Let's point that right back here.
This direction.
There we go. This
How's
is
that?
what we're going to be doing today. And you can see that at the top, I don't know if we can get an up-close shot of this, or maybe we'll put it at the bottom. But on the top one so the letters are done in 2 parts, I should say. And the above is the wave, okay? And then I made below the sand. Kind of makes sense, right? So then there's a little starfish that is attached to it. And we actually did it with flexi foam so that you could have a little bit of poof to the starfish, which is kind of fun. So that's fun in the, now you can do it all as one, right? But here we go. And here's fun in the sun. And then you've got the flip-flops on both sides. So any questions so far on this? Woohoo, fun in the sun. And I'm kind of excited about the fabrics for it as well that we chose, because it seemed kind of fitting that we would do the wave at the top, right?
Yeah.
So that's our
kind
fun
of a
in the sun.
Beach fabric, a water wave, so it looks fun.
Yeah, that's right. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and let's see, what are we going to do first? Well, what we're going to do first is we're going to do two things at the same time. How about that?
Okay.
Okay, I'm kind of excited about this. So for those of you with embroidery machines, yes, the embroidery is included. Right? Sewing machines, I've got you covered as well. And so what I'm going to ask Sandra to do is let's go ahead and get started with the design. All right, so what you need is a 5x7 hoop, and you're going to put wash away stabilizer. Now this is important because we actually rinse away around the edges when it's all said and done. So we've got that. Let's go ahead and take a shot right down here at the cutting table so you can see a little bit closer. You will also need 2 pieces of fabric, one's for the front and one's for the back. And I want you to notice something that Sandra and I have discovered is pretty important. And that is that we like having the Kimberbell fusible backing on the back of the background fabrics, okay? That's, if you have noticed any of your banners having a little bit of pucker, you may want to consider making sure that there's fusible backing on the back of them, all right?
It just gives it a little bit more stability and firmness so that you can.
And then you've got your batting, and these are your applique pieces. So Sandra's gonna go ahead and we're gonna stitch out the letter S together today. And I'm going to go ahead and let her get started on that, and we'll kind of see where she's at, and then I'm going to go ahead and bring you to the caterpillar so we can talk about the sewing part of all of this, okay? So let's go ahead and do that. And
so basically now we're just doing some placement lines.
Okay.
And we did use some batting in there also. So we're putting in a placement line for our batting, and then we'll trim that. Then we'll put our fabric over our background fabric over the top. And then, but we will not trim it until the very end.
Okay.
Because when you're starting to put that applique on there and all of the satin stitching, you don't want that to pull in at all. And so we want to make sure that it works out fine. So we just did a placement line. And now I'm just going to put some batting down here.
All right. We're just making sure that the batting covers over top of the placement line. For those of you who may not be familiar with how an embroidery machine works, we're basically doing an applique, and an applique is done in 3 different steps. You first have a placement outline, and that shows us where we put our fabric. We put our fabric on there, and we don't have to pre-cut that fabric beforehand, do we?
No, you can. There's a lot of the files that will give you the SVG files that you can use to cut your fabric and everything prior to it, but you don't have to.
Most of the time, I don't. In fact, SVGs sometimes scare me a little bit because they're not always 1,000% accurate that those stitches are going to be covered. So, especially on a project like this, I just go ahead and just do the, tack and cut method. What about all of you? Do you like the tack and cut method, or are you more of an SVG person? And it really doesn't matter. Either way is going to be fine, but I'm curious as to what is your preference. Do you do tack and cut, or do you go the other way around? All right, let's go ahead and take a look at my table in front of me, and you can see that I actually have my caterpillar right here on top, and I'm going to take my duckbill scissors and just run that right along that tack down stitch. All right, just like a regular applique, but it just happens to be in batting. Now, after this step is done, we're going to go ahead and place that background fabric over top of this, all right? But then we won't trim it afterwards. All right, Dee is more of a tack and cut gal. Annette likes to use her scan and cut. That's awesome, Annette. All right, so we're gonna place that down there. It's gonna go back to the machine and do a tack down stitch.
Okay.
All right, and Jamie has never tried SVG files before. Yeah, and not every design comes with SVG files. The ones from Girlfriends does not. A lot of Kimberbell ones do. It just kind of depends. So, but for us, we just do the tack and cut, so we really like that. Marion uses both methods, but she's found the tack and cut is more accurate. And I think that I would agree with that, Marion. And that's why I kind of stay away from the SVG files. I just find tack and cut is a lot more accurate. I don't have to worry about, you know, my fabric, the satin stitch going over top of the fabric. So I like that as well. And Sherry says tack and cut is faster for her as well. Yeah, I'm kind of in that ball camp as well. Okay, so what are we looking at here, Sandra?
Okay, what it's doing now is just our outside line,
okay.
our tack down line, and that will hold our fabric in place, and then it's going to start doing the applique.
Okay, so the first part of the applique is going to be the top half of the letter, and that's where the ocean comes in, right? So we chose to use a fabric that's got some cute waves on it, which I think is kind of fun, but you could obviously use any kind of fabric you want, right?
Yeah.
In blue. And instead of the ocean, it could be the sky if you wanted it to, right?
Yeah. Because sun and the fun is not always at the beach for people, right? Some people are like, yeah, no, I don't do beach. And that's okay.
Right. Yeah, that's all right too. All right, so while she is working on that, I'm gonna go ahead and talk about this sewing version a little bit. And we're gonna multitask this baby right here. Okay. So let's go over.
Just real quick.
Do you wanna show this real quick?
Just real quick,
okay.
I wanna show
that
because we chose this fabric and it is directional. So you gotta make sure that your waves are going the right direction.
Okay, that makes sense.
So that's why when you do this, if you make sure your waves are going however you want them to go, actually. But I chose side to side.
Woo, woo, woo. Yeah. Okay, there we go. I like it, Sandra. Okay. All right, let's talk about the sewing version. So again, you have, in your download, you'll have this printout that says Fun in the Sun banner. You can see here are the instructions for being able to do the sewing version. And by having the sewing version, you have the outlines for all of the different pieces, okay, for doing sewing. Now, the next page has the embroidery version for the letter banners, and we also have the embroidery version for the flip-flops, because the flip-flops are also done a little differently, all right? And we'll talk about that here in just a moment. But let's go ahead and talk about sewing, shall we? I'm going to remove my little cutting mat here and just place this right here on top of my Caterpillar. Now, the Caterpillar that I'm showing off today is the mini, and it's nice, lightweight. Absolutely love this. You can just throw it in your bag. It's so lightweight. And it actually is the brightest light table on the market. Now, underneath me, you can also see the Ultra. The Ultra is actually, wait, no, this one is not the Ultra. This is the Premium, and the Ultra is even bigger. But the Premium is also a nice size, and it can actually be taken with you places as well. Now, the nice thing about the Premium is that you don't have to plug it in. It just will automatically hold a charge, which is kind of cool. But for today's demo, I'm using the mini, and I'm just placing my fabric right here. I'm going to bring this light down just a little bit because I know it's awfully bright right there. So let's see that. And then I have a piece of Heat and Bond light. Now, Heat and Bond has a rough side and it has a paper side, and you want obviously the rough side to go down. Something I want you to also notice, this is something that we do in all of our patterns here at Girlfriends, is that we make sure the letters, if you've got letters or any kind of applique, we automatically put them in reverse for you. That's important. Now, when we're doing machine embroidery, you don't have to worry about reverse. When you're doing fusible applique, you always want it in reverse so that when it comes out on the fabric, it's actually done correctly. All right, so I'm gonna take my heat and bond, and because I've got the help of my light box here, I'm just gonna go ahead and trace this. Now, this first part is going to be the ocean, all right? And it is going to cover the entire letter. Now, I could have just done half the letter because half the letter is also done with sand. But for placement purposes, I felt like it would be so much easier for everyone if the full letter was cut out and then we did the sand on top of it. And you can see there's the letter F for ocean and letter F, sand. So then I take my sand and I'm going to also draw that on. Okay. And I'm also going to do my letter F for the starfish. Okay. And all these starfish are all the exact same sizes. So if you just do one starfish, do it a few different times, you'll have the same starfish for each one. All right, so with that being done, I can now take some scissors here. Oops. And just do what we call a rough cut. And notice my lines are not perfect. I'm gonna go ahead and turn that light off. Isn't that a wonderful light? That is super bright too. So a rough cut basically means I'm just cutting around the outside edge. All right, so I'm not cutting directly on the line. And then I can take those pieces and I'm going to go ahead and I can put them on the backs of fabrics. All right. So the one that I'm going to show off, let's see. Do you have an orange piece for yours, or is this your orange piece?
That's my orange piece, but I got another one. Go ahead.
Okay, all right. I'm going to go ahead and take this, and you'll notice right here that I'm going to, there's a front side and a back side. I'm going to take this and just do it on the back side. Are these extra pieces I could use?
They are.
Fantastic. Thank you, Miss Sandra. All right, I'm also going to applique the brown on the back as well as the blue on the F. Now, let's go ahead and take a look. I'm almost a little too short on that. You don't happen to have another piece of blue wave, do you?
Not cut, but I can sure cut you one really quick, but you only need
part. But I only need part of it. But I do want to, I'm gonna have the whole thing on there so that we can see how the sand goes on.
Let me cut you one really
All
quick.
Right. And I'm gonna come right over here to the ironing station, and we're just gonna do this. All right. Put this on the back and do this one on the back. And how's your at the embroidery machine going?
It's good, Kris. Where I'm at now is where you would want to place
the star,
the flexi foam.
Okay, so while you're cutting that, I will do this.
Okay.
I think it's teamwork makes the dream work, right?
I think it did the placement line.
It sure did.
So now we're just going to place that foam on it.
There we go. Okay. And there's my piece. It sure is. Perfect. Okay, so now the flexi foam is being added onto it. We just thought it would be kind of a fun little added element to put flexi foam underneath the starfish. Okay.
It just kind of helped it pop a little bit.
Yeah. Just up above the letter.
Yeah.
All right.
It kind of helped bring that center of that starfish out a little bit so that you didn't lose it.
Yeah, right.
So it turned out good.
Kind of a big deal.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're gonna cut that out and I'm gonna cut this out. See, there's two different ways. I always say there's 6 ways to Sunday, And there's lots of different ways that you can accomplish the same thing. So sometimes people love doing it on their sewing machine, some do embroidery. We've got something for everyone here today.
Well, for the longest time, Kris, I didn't have an embroidery machine.
Yeah.
And I did a lot of the Kimberbell bench pillows.
Oh,
just without embroidery.
Exactly. Yeah.
I just did them all applique. And you know what? They still look just as good out on my bench as anything else does.
Absolutely. All right. How's everyone doing at home? I'm seeing lots of comments about the weather. It is hot, I think, nationwide for sure. All right, so I'm cutting out the sand right now, and then I'm going to cut out my little starfish. Now, if you're doing sewing and you're wanting to have the starfish be poofy, just treat your applique, just glue together the flexi-foam and your piece of fabric, glue them together with a little glue stick, and then you treat it as one, and then you'll have your poofy starfish for that.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, so here you can see right here, I've got the F, and now you can see why we had to do it in reverse, right? Because now the F looks correct.
You don't want a backwards one.
No, you don't. And then all you have to do is peel the paper back, just like this. Let me get my nails in here. Okay. If it doesn't come off very easily, you may have to take it back to the iron again, because maybe I didn't hold it on there long enough. Okay, there we go.
You got it?
Yep.
Okay.
And then you just place that over top. And you can see that that just covers right over there. So this is the sand part. And then I'm going to take my starfish and do the same thing. All right, how's yours coming, Sandra?
Yeah, well, let's take a look.
Let's take a quick look. All right, look at this. Look at that S. How stinking fun is that one? So what's going to stitch out next, Sandra?
It's going to do the satin stitch around the outside of the S.
Okay,
on the
so
top.
we're going to choose a blue color, and it's going to go around here, and then the next color will be brown, and the last color will be the orange. But I do like that little bit of a poof right there.
Yeah, I think
So,
it helps.
Very nice. All right, so I'm peeling away my little starfish here, and then all I do is just kind of put it right over top like that, and I can put it truly anywhere I want, but that's where I would choose to put it on my banner. So just go ahead and you would fuse all three of those layers together at the same time, and then you would just do an applique stitch on your sewing machine. And so both ways are going to be really simple. So while that, I'll go ahead and set that aside, and let's take a more up close of that being completely done. Okay, you can see right there that the S is being done this way, and you can see a little bit more up close on all of these. So what do you think? Kind of fun, right? All right, well, let's talk real quickly about a couple other banners that are in this set, because there's two more things. The next one is right here. So this is the words in the. So on the embroidery version, those words are just going to stitch out. For those of you who are doing the sewing version, once again, I have it already in reverse for you, and you're just going to do these small little appliques for in the. So just take any kind of scrap fabrics you have and go ahead and just fuse it on there like that. All right, then let's talk for a moment about these fun little flip-flops. So the flip-flops, the way these are digitized is that you're going to take some pieces of ribbon, 5-inch strips of ribbon, and you could do like 1/4 inch, 3/8 inch, And it's going to do a tack down stitch up here, and you're going to take some Kimberbell paper tape and just tape your ends right over top. Then it will do, or a placement line I should say. Then it will do a tack down stitch to hold it in place. Once that is done, it will do the remaining 2 ends where it will do a placement line, so you know exactly where to put your ribbon. You're going to place it about a 1/4 inch over top. Again, don't worry, all the instructions are in the instruction on the directions. Put some paper tape over top, and then it will do the tack down stitch, holding it all in place. That ribbon is dimensional. You can see here that it kind of loops up over the top. Then what will happen is it will do the satin stitch, and it does the cute little flower at the top. So pretty straightforward, pretty simple, and I think they're just kind of fun. And you could use, you know, the flip-flops on all kinds of projects, right, Sandra?
Oh, yes, you totally could. And again, that was a directional fabric, so I had to cut 2 pieces and make sure that the lines on my flip-flops were...
Oh, boy. See, she was like way over the top, more than I would do. No way. I wouldn't even worry about that one. The waves I would worry about, yes, for sure, but yeah.
No, I had to make sure my flip-flops, my lines on my flip-flops, because I had done one prior to this, and it was just a print, and it turned out really cute, but no, I wanted to make sure that the lines on those flip-flops are going up and down and not on...
Okay, who is Team Sandra, who's Team Kris on this one when it comes to direction? It doesn't matter, it's all good.
No, it does not.
All right, friends, well, we hope you enjoyed today's tutorial. We're just having fun seeing this stitch out, but you know, I think the rest is pretty straightforward.
Yeah,
so.
It is, and it comes out really cute. You do do that final satin stitch around the outside edge, and then I just took my fabric folding pen with just water in it.
Okay.
And went all the way around the edge, and it just dropped right out.
Excellent idea.
And so
I like that.
It's a really fun thing.
I like that a lot. All right.
Team Kris.
I know. You put 50 quilters in one room, you're going to have 50 different ideas,
yes,
right?
You are.
Which
you
is
totally
good.
Are.
So, no, we know some of you are more like me, of like, meh, and then some are more like Sandra, and you're like, nope, I'm going to make sure those lines go in the right direction.
On my flip-flops are right.
Exactly. It's all good. All right, friends. Well, we hope you enjoyed today's tutorial. Let's go ahead and head back over to our set 1 so we can talk about theme number 3. And as we do, let's check out this quick little video about working with Minky on the sewing machine. Let's talk the digital dual feed with Minky. Talk about frustration. Now with the help of the digital dual feed, I won't have any stretch when it comes to sewing this together. Beautiful. All right, so Sandra, kind of a fun project to do, right?
It is. It was really fun, and it takes a little bit of time because, like I said, there's 9 letters on this one.
Yeah.
Well, with your flip-flops and everything. So, it's going to take you the full afternoon into evening to do it. I would just guarantee you on that
It definitely takes a little bit more time,
yes,
for
it does.
sure.
But, I think it's just adorable. It's so cute, Kris.
Well, for those of you who are interested in purchasing the banner design, you can do so, and it's on a great price today. The regular price of this banner set for sewing and machine embroidery, it's all included in one download, is $8.99, but we have it on sale today for you for just $4.99. Or it's found free in the club. So club members, you can check that out in the club portal. That's where you're going to find it. And we want to make sure to see all of your pictures. We hope that, you're making all of these different banners, and we would love to see your pictures. So make sure and post them on social media. Be sure to tag us using the hashtag #MyGirlfriend'sQuiltShop. We would love to see what you're making. So, Sandra, in theme number 3, we like to talk about themes that we've discovered. And there's something recently that you discovered that I'd love for you to share.
Okay, I was just recently at a quilt retreat, and I had a project that I was working on. And as I opened up my instructions, I had to print, it needed a template for part of the design that I was using. And I was like, I don't have my light, I don't have any of this stuff. I literally had to take and find a piece of paper, and it was lined paper on top of that, and go to a window and put it up so that I would have a light so that I could see how to trace that template so that I could finish my project. Because I was like, man, I wished I could have had my Caterpillar light with me, and I would have been able to put that template right out there and trace it off onto a regular piece of paper, and it would have worked really great for me. Or even just a freezer paper would have worked really great too. So there's a couple of options that way that worked out really nice.
We need those templates. Okay, so here's the question for all of you. Have you discovered how amazing using freezer paper is for doing your templates?
Yes.
That is a fun one, because for those of you who are going, wait a minute, freezer paper, are you talking about the stuff that's in the meat section at the grocery store?
Much.
Yep, that's what it is.
We are.
And the nice thing about freezer paper is that you just iron it right on, and it comes right back off.
Yes.
And there's no sticky residue. So had you had your Caterpillar or freezer paper, you would have been just fine,
I would have been good. Or both, Or both. It would have worked really great.
Yeah, for sure.
But then I have another story to tell you. We have those Caterpillar lights now for our machines.
Yes,
and I will tell you, that has been a game changer for me on my sewing machine. But just recently, my husband wanted me to come and watch a hockey game with him. Okay. The Stanley Cup was on. My family, I've got some kids in Canada, so they're big hockey fans.
Oh yeah.
And so he says, come watch this game with me. So I went, okay. So I had to take my hand stitching with me, and over to the TV we go. And we're down in the family room, and it's dark, and I'm like, I can't see to do this. I'm going, what am I doing? I can't see.
Fun.
And he goes, well, if you turn the light on, it shines into the TV, and then I can't see the puck. I'm going, oh my gosh, Guy, what's going on here?
Oh my goch, Guy.
So I went upstairs and I got my Caterpillar light, and I turned it on, and I put it down the front of my shirt.
Hey, whatever works.
And I made that
works.
light go up and over so that I could see what I was doing down below me. I'm going, there's more uses to that Caterpillar light than just on your machine.
Stick it right down there.
So we were both happy. I could sew, and he could watch the hockey game.
Exactly. I love it. Hey, now that's a great discovery, I would say. Yeah. Are you guys loving your Caterpillar lights? Because I know many of you have them. In fact, what's funny is I've been seeing where people have been receiving them in the mail, and the light is shining through. It's almost like ET phone home.
Yes.
The good news is that you can charge them. So they're rechargeable if you have any issues with that. But, I mean, that's how good they work. You press the button, and there you go. You have a Caterpillar light. So, too fun.
It was definitely a game changer. I mean, not just for that, but even on my machine and everything, it is an amazing light.
It really is. The Caterpillar products are awesome. We love them. You can find them all on our website. Let's see. Diane asks, are there going to be kits for this cutie? Absolutely. Next week's Comment Sold, we will have kits available for those.
That sounds fun.
And with those exact fabrics. So yes, definitely we will. So, all right. Well, I think that about wraps things up for us today. Sandra, thanks so much for being with me today.
Thank you.
This has been a lot of fun.
It's been really fun, and I thought that doing the banner was great. Thank you.
Yeah, you bet. All right, friends, we hope you've enjoyed today's 3 at 3. And if you wouldn't mind, we would be so grateful if you enjoyed today's show that you shared it with someone. We're trying to help grow our audience, and we need your help in order to do that. So if this is something that you think others would enjoy, all you have to do is a quick little share at the share button underneath. And we'd love for you to be able to spread the message of our new 3 Themes at 3.
Yeah.
And we've got lots of fun things ahead for the future for 3 Themes at 3 too. So thank you for sharing, commenting, liking. It all helps, and we really, truly appreciate all of you. All right, friends, have a great rest of your weekend. I know it's only Thursday, it's not Friday yet, but to some of us around here, it feels like a Friday, doesn't it?
It does. Well, and if you're leaving, I'm leaving.
That's right.
It's a long weekend for.
Absolutely. Have a great one, and we hope to see you again real soon. Bye-bye.
Bye.